Give the command to start engines for today's race. He is one half of the most successful country music duo of all time, Brooks and Dunn, and the host of American Country Countdown. Ladies and gentlemen, Kix Brooks.
Drivers, start your engines!
The speeds are so high, over 200 miles an hour.
It is blazing fast.
This 500-mile race will test man, machine, and emotion.
That's the kind of action you get here at Texas. This place is Texas big, and this track is prime.
A 1. Now, to the rear, you heard Jamie Little talk about Kyle Larson in that 42 car. Failed inspection 3 times. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., a hard practice crash, goes to a backup for the 3rd time this year. William Byron, an engine change. And Matt DiBenedetto changed the transmission.
22 laps complete. O'Reilly Auto Parts entertaining fans all weekend long here at the Speedway. Checking out the Shredder Show car, taking pictures with the replica trophy. Fans had some Texas-style fun. Kevin Harvick now leads by 10 seconds, Jamie.
And as Kevin continues to lead, the team is racing with some heavy hearts. You see there in memory of United States Air Force Major Stephen Del Bagno. He was killed during routine training over the Nevada desert last Wednesday. Now the tie-in here, you see the entire 4 team with him. He was one of the pilots who did the flyover for the Daytona 500 this year. And because he was team number 4, he naturally fit in with team number 4 in NASCAR. He got hats and shirts. The team loved him. They got their pictures together. He hung out and watched the team race. So we're all thinking of him. We thank him for his sacrifice and certainly thinking of the United States Air Force.
Thanks, Jamie.
He took off a little bit loose, and it's just stayed edgy this whole run. He was better to start the race.
And that, man, I tell you, there's nothing worse than to be able to run at 200 miles an hour around this racetrack. Little treacherous getting into 1, almost wide open through 3 and 4, and your car's not quite like you'd like for it to be.
Well, and this is, I think, what.
Yeah, let's talk about Jimmy Johnson, this 48 team, and his crew chief, Chad Knaus. Chad, in the 1990s, he actually was a fabricator and a tire changer on Jeff Gordon's number 24 car. He left Hendrick Motorsports, and in 2000 with Ray Evernham's team, he was crew chief for Casey Atwood for 2 races.
Denny Hamlin working his way back to the front, battling for 10th with Eric Almirola. And William Byron got the free pass on that caution flag. So that gives us 14, 15 cars on the lead lap. 15.
You know what? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, DW.
All of a sudden, you got the 22 and the 12, 2 Penske cars, Fords, that have found their way to the front. I think
Eric Jones and Clint Boyer.
Allow Eric Jones to the bottom, but then you saw Chase Elliott on the outside of the 18 and the 41 right there.
Trouble! One car around and one in the wall.
Hamlin's in
11 and the 10.
And
Hamlin, Keselowski involved, and Almirola. And Jimmy Johnson. So it's Denny Hamlin that goes sideways in front of half the field.
This is why it's so important to have a wall that's softer on the inside as well as the outside.
William Byron is the last car on the lead lap, 18 seconds back. Had a free pass to get back on the lead lap earlier, as Ryan Blaney did on this last caution flag. Now those are the lead lap cars, 1 lap down. Bubba Wallace. So Kurt Busch will come to pit road. That will hand the lead to William Byron if he stays out, who started last after an engine change after practice. Jamie.
And the 41 and Kurt Busch, it's been 41 races since he last won. That, of course, is the Daytona 500 in 2017. The team has been flawless today. This car has been good. In fact, Kurt Busch said it is good right now. He didn't want any adjustments. A 4-tire stop from the #1 box.
Austin Dillon's gone to the garage area with problems you saw in the rear end there when he made that last pit stop. Since that is a mechanical issue, I believe NASCAR would allow him to make repairs and come back out. So William Byron gets to lead a lap in Texas, comes to pit road.
Really like this kid, Mike. I think he's going to have a great year when he gets the second half of the year particularly.
Vince.
just a little bit snug for William Byron. He said he's been very pleased, particularly as the race has gone on, with the way the car is handled. Overall, said maybe just free it up just a little bit, so they'll make an air pressure adjustment on the 24. But this kid continues to impress. Another strong effort from this entire team, led by crew chief Darian Grubb.
I like Darian Grubb. I think he's good.
Caution, 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 21.
Paul Menard being called for the caution.
Last year we had dinner with those guys out in Vegas, and Stevie was with my wife.
But 2 weeks ago, we saw one of the longest winless droughts snapped. Here are the longest spells that have been broken all time. Bill Elliott back to victory lane after that's Chase. After 226 races. Martin Truex. Boy, there was a bit of contact between William Byron and Cole Witt.
I'll say. It's got real ugly right here coming off turn 4.
Boy, Cole doesn't give him a whole lot of room.
Doesn't give him any room.
William Byron tries to squeeze into that little gap.
Yep.
That's one of those deals where I think Cole said, I didn't even know you were there. At least that's what he'd say.
So now you have Stenhouse, who has 50 laps on this set of.
Fighting for the lucky dog position. He's done amazing.
Yeah, over this scheduled for 500-mile race, a lot of wear and tear, some 17, 18.
18 was a little bit quicker than the 4, so if things play out like it should, this might be a day when Kyle Busch will be happy.
Well, there's a couple outliers in the mix. Here's Matt.
This event, its host and its sponsor. And we truly thank you for all the men and women who have and who are serving in our armed forces, and those individuals who are protecting us in our local town, county, and state police department.
You know, yesterday in the Xfinity race, as the drivers get ready, one of the pit.
So let's get ready. Ready to rip and grip, slip and slide. We're about to go rocking and rolling because it's Bristol, baby.
The grip that you need, and that bottom group comes in.
Yeah, one thing I think about the traction.
Oh, trouble.
Oh, good grief.
Chase Elliott.
Oh, no.
Michael McDowell.
Oh,
Martin
right
Truex
at the last second.
Piles in. And, gosh, that was ugly.
Well,
Right there, guys, take a look at it. Well, it was.
This is what happens at this track, particularly early in the race. Everybody bunched
just
up.
Gets loose underneath the 19 as Suarez comes around and collects Chase Elliott and some others. Boy, look at the great job Eric Jones and William Byron did squeezing by.
And Martin Truex just can't get stopped.
I don't think that, Mike, I was just going to say that traction compound, it's a little slick right now. You got to get a little heat in it. I noticed when I was driving the pace car, it's still a little sticky, but it's slick until you get a little heat in it.
And I think 78 of Truex.
Elliott and Martin Truex get shoved into it. We're under caution in Bristol. 5th place.
What's interesting, the 2 of Keselowski, remember, he started on the front row, went backwards at the original start and working his way back up there. Vince?
How about the 24 of William Byron? Started 11th up to 5th. It's his first time here in a Cup car as Keselowski gets underneath him. But the progress that this young guy is making, very impressive, and off to a good start here in his first Cup race at Bristol.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, doing a great job.
Alex Bowman alongside makes the pass, and Byron drops in line. We're at lap 37. NASCAR had scheduled a competition yellow for lap 45, but because of the 2 early cautions, they have moved that ahead to.
And 10th, William Byron, he's standing by with our Vince Welch before he has to get back in the car. Vince?
Yeah, they have just called the drivers back into the car, but it's been eventful for you in your first Cup race here at Bristol, just your 8th Cup race overall. Started 11th, moved up to 5th, back to 10th. How would you describe the activity in those first 50?
Yeah, it was wild. I guess the 34 got sideways and we were just right tucked under Chase, so that was unfortunate. Then we got up to 5th. Our car was really good until the rain came out, and then we started getting really free. So hopefully it doesn't rain while we're racing right now, and then we can hopefully keep our balance pretty close. But got up to 5th there, and I feel like our car is definitely capable of running up there. So that's really good improvement from yesterday. We went back and looked at a lot of notes, so great job by the guys.
Obviously, we're concerned about the rain. A lot of times in the car, the heat is almost unbearable at times. You wear what's
called a cool suit a certain extent. You got here, explain to us a little bit about what you're wearing to keep you comfortable in the car.
Yeah, it was really something Jimmy kind of came up with, helped us kind of in the car just be sharper. You know, it's obviously not too hot outside today, but I'm sure in the last couple hundred laps of this race it'll be pretty hot in the car, so you'll try to use that, be a little bit sharper, and be able to focus better. So we'll see what happens here.
Have fun.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Back with Michael before we bring in the guys.
It's a total package, and to see where they're getting, it's pretty amazing.
Great athletes, good coach.
What I'm seeing from Jimmy Johnson, though, the longer this race goes, he just seems to be picking up more and more pace. He could be a real player as we wind these laps down.
And Darrell Waltrip and Jeff Gordon.
Not R-E-X, W-R-E-K, Rex.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think I'm going to think on that one for a while.
No, come on, Rex. Hey, let's.
25 years ago, we lost a hero. Alan Kulwicki was the current Winston Cup champion. Friday night, on his way to back from an appearance in Knoxville, the engines iced up on his plane. We lost Alan and all aboard.
It's been 25 years since we lost Alan Kulwicki, April 1st, 1993. It was just 5 months after the Polish Prince shocked the world with one of the racing's greatest upsets.
There's the checkered flag for Allen. He's the champion for 92. And these are his words, a Polish victory lap.
But the evening before he was to take to the track at Bristol Motor Speedway, his plane fell from the sky and we lost him. But what was not lost, his mark on the sport. Kulwicki was one of the first outsiders to find success in NASCAR. He was tireless in his race preparation, an uncanny ability to control speed. An ambitious underdog who owned his own team, and he was known for taming the untamable.
Kulwicki winning Phoenix International Raceway.
Kulwicki wins 5 Winston Cup races, 24 pole positions.
I just wanted them to give him something to remember me by.
Just a few days before he had to defend his race win from a year earlier, Kulwicki's team withdrew from the race. As the team prepared to exit Thunder Valley, a NASCAR family gathered along the wall of the track. The number 7 hauler made one more lap in honor of its fallen driver. And that is where the driver began the longest 4-hour journey of his life. And how do I know that? I'm Peter Jellin. I was behind the wheel. I made that drive in honor of Alan. Because as sad as we all were, and as hard as that drive was, Alan Kulwicki deserved one last lap.
This still hurts. And there's a fella as a driver. He was a Robin Hood. His little team, Rob Top Finishes, from the powerhouse teams of the sport. He won a championship. He did it his way, and he turned the sport on its ear. Backyard engineering was no longer good enough. Alan Kulwicki brought college-trained engineers into racing and to stay. Alan deserves to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Maybe this year.
We've heard every driver say that, and how will it change if we come back and race tomorrow?
And during our last red flag, we talked about young drivers challenging veterans, the experience here with the rain coming. Let's check in with a young driver. Jamie is standing by with William Byron.
And he's doing a very great job considering this is your first time here in a Cup car. How's the car and how's your day been from your perspective?
Yeah, the car's been really good for us. We've had a good race car today. We kind of regrouped overnight and really went a whole different direction. So it's just been really good. We got stuck behind the bottom groove there on that restart and got really, I think we restarted 5th and we're 15th now, but hopefully get some fresh tires on it and we'll be fine. Hopefully not get trapped on whichever lane goes, and should be good after that.
We know that you're a video game guy and you spend a lot of time in this simulator. So now that you're doing this full time, how much time are you spending in this simulator, especially for a track like this?
Yeah, you really spend a lot of time in it just because the rhythm is so important, and also some of the notes and things that can apply are also a little bit bigger here. So I feel like we spent 3 or 4 hours in there this week. Obviously it's starting to help towards the race, and I think just my previous experience here in the truck and Xfinity cars helped the most, and I feel like I know somewhat of what the racetrack's going to do and what that PJ1's going to do on the bottom. So it takes some heat down there, so I think you kind of know that going into the restarts and stuff like that. So I think that stuff is just previous knowledge.
So other than being a very gifted race car driver, William Byron, there's something about him that makes you very unique. You're an Eagle Scout. An Eagle Scout is something not many have made it to that level. What did you learn about being an Eagle Scout, and how did you balance it all with becoming a driver so young?
Yeah, really, when I was doing Boy Scouts, I was starting to race, so it was really kind of difficult to finish to be an Eagle Scout, but I really just did it during the off weeks, and I had a couple off weeks, and we would go camping almost every off week to try to get those nights and everything and try to finish that up. So it was good, and I learned so much from it. I feel like after the fact, just finishing the job on something, and then also learning about how to be kind of independent and be a leader. So I think those things apply, especially in the race car. You have to lead your whole team, and then also you got to finish the job. The end result of the day is really the ultimate goal. So that's similar to what I did there.
So accomplished on and off the racetrack. Chris?
Yep, Jamie is so young, too. It looks like he's just barely a Cub Scout, let alone advancing. You heard him refer to PJ1. We call it traction compound or track bite. That was the one with all the terms that Larry discussed. But one of those young drivers challenging the veteran drivers. We asked some of the more established drivers about the youth movement in NASCAR.
But I'm going to tell you what, as those young guys came in, as I became more mature of a racer, they just made me older faster. I remember when Jeff Gordon showed up, this kid from Indiana, I'm thinking, I've never seen anybody come in and set the world on fire. He did just that.
Mother Nature won out at the Coliseum today here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's official now that the race will be continued tomorrow, and the running order you see with Kyle Larson, and Kyle Busch was in moments ago talking to us. He had kind of a realistic view. 1 o'clock Eastern time, local time. We'll pick it up right where we are and finish the race in its entirety. Weather should be better at that time.
Everybody got lit. David 10. Ty Dillon lost 18 laps. Chase Elliott 22 and Greg Galding 44. Now Mike, hands and knees right at the start-finish line. Welcome back to Monster Energy Series Racing from Bristol. 260 complete, stage 3. Now to get the final point in that stage, Bubba Wallace used the chrome horn first on William Byron and then on Paul Menard.
We saw a lot of aggressive driving out of Bubba Wallace. And you're going to see a lot of damage to the left rear quarter panels all throughout this field. In the field since the beginning of last year, yet he's never gotten a win. I think today could be the day.
Jeff, we have so many drivers in the top 10 right now looking for that first career win in the Cup Series. You heard Jamie Little talk about Daniel Suarez and that thumb. He may not win the race, but he may be headed for his best finish of the season so far.
Larry, if I said he won in the trucks, he won in Xfinity, he won in Cup, you'd probably say Kyle Busch. So has Brett Keselowski. 2 wins here, might make it 3 today. You get a chance to throw 4 tires on this thing. That opens the door for some options later in the race.
They're having difficulty hooking up Reed Sorensen's car to get it off the track here, so
no,
will be extended for a little
Hammond
bit
always asks me, what
caution.
do you want to do? Man.
Boy, William Byron almost got taken to the wall as he looked for a 3rd lane in turn 2. Watch the 24.
See DiBenedetto having some issues, not getting quite up speed. He runs wide. That gets the 24 of William Byron wide. Amazing job not to cause more damage to that right side. He clipped the wall a tiny bit.
Byron was trying to become the first driver 1 lap down and get him in the free pass position, which right now is held by A.J. Allmendinger.
Your point, Daryl, on the conditioning. The last time I ran here, I drove that 88 car, and we had a long green flag run, and I'm telling you, my tongue was hanging out. I was worn out on that long green flag run. It took me a few laps when we went back to caution to just catch my breath.
I'm down here. It's a little calmer on my end of the grid, Chris. You guys are having a ball down there. I'm with Michael Rooker. Michael's character, Rowdy Burns, in Days of Thunder was the inspiration for Kyle Busch's nickname, Rowdy. You raced everything in that movie, rental cars, race cars, even wheelchairs. Are you ready for your pace car ride tonight?
I'm ready.
Feel good about it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got some information. I got some intel. I've drove that pace car myself if you want me to help you along.
It's okay, sir. I've seen you drive.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably best. I'm going to be in Alabama next week, Talladega. Maybe you can come over and join us.
I'd love that.
I love that, too. I like Michael.
Thanks, Larry. There's the 2018 Toyota Camry XSE that leads the field on a beautiful spring night to go short track racing in Richmond. Temps got up into the high 60s today. Currently 64 degrees, track temp under full sunny skies. 90 degrees, winds out of the northwest at 5.
That pace car might need a new rear bumper.
Truex got to the back of it already.
Bumping him pretty good.
Martin Truex on short tracks in what's now the K&N Series. He won twice at Stafford, Connecticut, once at Thompson, Connecticut. And in the Xfinity Series, he has a win at Bristol, Indianapolis Raceway Park, and Memphis, just not in the Cup Series.
400 to win a race. See you in victory lane when it's over. Good luck, bud. Forward, Wade. Have a good one up there, bud. Good luck in there, guys. Appreciate the fast car and the pole. Let's go get them.
That's your pole sitter, Martin Truex, and here they come.
All right, here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing on this short track, boys.
Seventh place, Kurt Busch on the inside. Rookie William Byron drops in behind him.
Well, William's going to get to go to school here a little bit by one of the best on these short tracks, Kurt Busch.
Yeah, William had a nice qualifying run, and well, William Byron right now, Mike, he will go to school. That's one thing that he really believes in, is watching and studying.
Chase Elliott, son of a former champion, carrying his dad's number 9 on that Hendrick Chevrolet, running third behind the Toyota of Truex and the Ford of Logano.
Guys, how about this? William Byron in the Exalta Chevrolet coming to the front, passing Denny Hamlin at Richmond, one of Denny's best tracks.
Byron, the 20-year-old college student from Charlotte, driving for Rick Hendrick, cut his teeth on the quarter-mile oval between that uses pit road and the front straightaway at Charlotte in a 1200cc Legends car, and then worked his way up to NASCAR and to the top level like a rocket. Austin, the edge to Wallace. Kyle Busch now has taken third from William Byron, who's trying to hold off the 14 of Clint Boyer. And Boyer goes to fourth on the youngster. Matt?
Mike, before that stop, William Byron said the car's a little bit on the free side, but honestly, I would not change a thing. It's just turning so well. And William Byron is such a student of the game. And Darian Grubb told me it's so impressive how much effort he puts into it. But he did something a little bit different this week, not racing a cup car here. He followed a couple other veterans, namely Kyle Larson and his teammate Jamie McMurray. He realized he was driving in the corner way too deep following the 42. Changed that, and it helped.
Still in the top 5. In fact, Byron's running the top 5 in 6 of the last 7 races this year.
I just think Darian Grubb, think back to he and Tony Stewart. They had such great success together. And now Darian Grubb's over there with that kid, 24. That's a sharp kid. You put those two together, Mike, and I'm just telling you, I think that's a whale of a combination.
Certainly building some confidence and momentum of that communication that's happening between crew chief and driver on that 24 car.
Well, now, you know, motivating factor. Rick Hendrick is here tonight. William Byron's having a great run. Rick hasn't been to all the races in the cold weather this spring. We had some penalties. Too fast entering the pits, William Byron and Alex Bowman, while an uncontrolled tire. Let's see. Yeah, that one right there will send Ryan Newman to the back.
It was daylight and then pit road problems.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of problems down on pit road, uncontrolled tires, and in this case, they're throwing equipment across the wall. The equipment actually catches a guy.
That's in a rough spot there. Ouch. Penalty there.
Here's the list. Jeff Gordon first. He was the youngest to do most everything in NASCAR, at least for a while. Richard Petty, second youngest to reach that mark, and then 2-time champion and Hall of Famer Ned Jarrett. Two-time champion Hall of Famer. If they get to beating and banging, that pace car's got a good shot at it.
I'm looking back here in that third row outside William Byron. I guarantee he's never seen anything like what he's about to see.
Here we go. Green, green, green.
Oh, I think William may have missed a shift. He definitely didn't get going.
Oh, yeah, and he's up in that real high, loose stuff. That's going to be treacherous off
Truex clears the 11, goes to second.
They made it.
Not yet.
Here we go. 6 laps to go. Green flag.
Oh, Logano doesn't get a good start. Look at 3 wide, 9 of Chase Elliott going to the inside of Harvick.
Ooh, baby.
7 second places for Chase Elliott, looking for his first win.
Oh, that's
here
not
he
gonna
comes.
Work.
It's looking a little dirty over there. Chase Elliott is making an incredible move out on the inside of the 4 car. Can he make it stick?
Elliott, Harvick.
Harvick coming back aggressively to the outside of the 9.
5 to go.
The only guy that's enjoying this is the guy leading right now. And he's looking back saying, y'all just go right on and have yourself a ball.
It's all in his mirror. We may have a tire rub on William Byron's car, the 24.
Yeah, I saw the right side of his car. I don't know where he got into something, but he did. He does have some right side damage.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to have to come in and fix that.
Nah, not for 3 laps.
Time to go. Good luck. Thanks very much,
Thanks,
by
guys.
the way.
Thanks for having us.
We have a super Jeff Gordon in his younger years. What's going on here?
This might be a
let's go to break.
Do we have security?
Wait, say we go to break.
Right, look at that.
No, we need to
a
go to
younger.
break.
Is that what Jeff?
That's Rodney Sands.
I know he's a big star.
You don't recognize him?
He's a big star. Nice to see you.
Hey,
this is Jeff 20 years ago, right? Is that
Yeah, nice to meet you, Rodney. I think you should stay away from my daughter.
Thanks for coming by. Scarlett, have you ever since Halloween?
Yesterday, we learned of the tragic passing of longtime NASCAR and ARCA driver James Hilton and his son James Jr. Hilton's career included a win here at Talladega in 1972, and his influence over the sport spanned several decades. At this time, we ask that you join us in a moment of silence to honor the memory of James Hilton and his son James Jr. Thank you.
In the name of your only Son, I pray. Amen.
You control the brake pedal and the throttle pedal and the steering wheel. That's it. I say 3. And
remember,
outside of that, no way.
He just like this kid right here. There's only one guy inside that car.
Neil Bonnet had a bad day here at Talladega, went up in the air and over. And I asked him when he came to pit road, climbed out of the car, said, "You've battled everybody here today. Who do you think can win?" He said, "Pace car's got a good shot at it."
Yeah, baby.
Typically, the spotter and driver will be on channel 1 during a race, and then the crew chief and spotter can converse on channel 2. But due to the issue with the 41's radio, Harvick's team will stay on channel 1. Their channel 2 will be utilized by the 41 of Kurt Busch. It was almost like a scene from Smoking the Bandit. When we say go to 10, we really mean go to 20. A little confusion at the beginning.
Well, how about the rookie William Byron? Started 17th up to 3rd. Remember, it's just his 10th Cup race in his young career. His first time running a Cup car here at Talladega. Right before the race, his crew chief Darian Grubb leaned in and had a conversation with William. I asked what was the conversation, and he said the message was one thing: take what the track gives us. That's all we want to do. That will allow us, hopefully, to be there at the end, and that's the goal.
That is great advice. Keep an eye on the 21 of Paul Menard. He's one of those dark horse drivers in a Woods brother car. Teammate to the Penske cars, lined up right with him. William Byron in row 2. Here we go.
Yeah, Paul's just been lurking back there and been a top 5 or 6 most of this race.
Kind of saw this at the beginning of the race with teammates Kevin Harvick and Kurt Busch, where they work together. And we're seeing kind of the same thing, the two, but not going to work out because William Byron has such a great run that Keselowski's going to have to block that move.
Boy, Byron is right there, and I mean, I know he's trying to stay off the back of that 2 car, but that Jamie McMurray car is giving him a ride, buddy.
He's going to get to the outside of our leader, Keselowski. William Byron going for the lead here at Talladega.
What about that? Him and Darian Grubb, they got that old 24 car wound up today. Whoa!
Oh, he's going to try to get down and block that inside move.
Oh, that was close.
Byron, no stranger to restrictor plate racing, won the Xfinity Series race at Daytona last July.
I like it. These guys have some fresh rubber, a little bit more grip, more stability right now, so they're being more aggressive.
Boy, that 1 car, McMurray, he looked like he was really, really loose coming off turn 2 there. Chased it all the way up the hill.
The college sophomore, 20 years old, didn't start racing till he was 15. That's old by today's standards, but here he is in the lead.
McMurray got a nice shove from the 11 of Denny Hamlin as they went off into turn 3.
Well, I really think that 1 car, though, of McMurray's, it looks free to me. It looks like he's just sliding off the corner. Just think, I mean, McMurray Friday was upside down, and today here he is trying to take the lead.
All right, let's listen to Tab Boyd, William Byron spotter.
You're cool. The 1 is still with you. He's going to give you the best boost here. Look into the dip. You're good. Oh, he got loose and he fell off of you. 22 still inside. We're doing good. Here he comes back. Big boost from the 1 coming soon. Now, still inside, 22. He let off of you. Your top is clear.
Back straight away. Eric Jones up into Jamie McMurray, who collects Trevor Bayne in the 6, and it's on.
Oh,
hard Bayne on
left
hard
side
hit. Martin Truex involved.
Murray, you'll see him. He gets involved in this. It almost looked like his wreck from Friday. Starts off that way.
Right across into Truex. And then Bayne in the 6 to the inside barrier. Here's Vince.
Keep an eye on that 24 of William Byron, currently running inside the top 10. He's got some pretty significant front end damage on that nose. They'd like to address it, but they want to make sure most of all that he doesn't give anybody else a bump with that nose, because they don't want it to open up. Right now it's just a crack, but they want to make sure that he doesn't have any front end contact that'll open it up, that'll really affect the handling of that car.
Kind of like Kenny Rogers said, got to know when to fold them, know when to hold them.
Now, in the pre-race show, a fan handed you a sneaker to sign. So, come on, let everybody in on the gag. Who is Rodney Sandstorm?
Yeah, that's actually Jordan Taylor. He's my teammate when I won the 24 Hours of Daytona. And he's quite a ride if you watch him on social media, and obviously he's got quite a sense of humor.
Now, I wish they'd have told me about it too, because I thought it was some gaper, and I said, man, get him out of here.
No, right. I tell you, he is a heck of a driver.
Oh,
and
I know.
Jordan Taylor is a star of social media, and his alter ego is this Rodney Sandstorm character wearing a Jeff Gordon jacket. It's pretty funny. Was he on the Boulevard Friday night?
I saw
probably.
pictures.
I bet he was out there having some fun.
I've seen photos. Yep, Rodney Sandstorm.
He told me he paid good money on eBay for that jacket, by the way, too.
Yeah.
He's looking for security.
No, I thought we needed security. I said, man, leave the man alone. We're working.
Well, and you guys talking about the spotter. How about Tab Boyd, the spotter for that young leader up front, William Byron? We mentioned earlier it's his first Cup race here. Yeah, he's run a truck race here at Talladega. He's run Xfinity. But this Cup car is a whole different animal, especially with this package, and what an advantage it is for Byron to have a veteran like Tab Boyd in his ear, helping him not only with the car behind him, but what that line on the outside is doing.
I've been so impressed with this young man. And remember, they've had to overcome some issues today. Had a little nose damage earlier in an incident.
It's only 9 starts for that kid leading the race. It's pretty impressive. Boy, I tell you what, Mike, while you were doing that 12 car was all over the back of William Byron. I mean, I thought he was going to turn him, but they hung on to him.
Oh, Denny Hamlin gets stuck in the middle. Clint Boyer made a Nice move to the outside, but luckily he's going to pick up the 12. It's not going to hurt him as much as I thought it might.
Yeah, clowns that left me. The Joker's to my right. I'm stuck in the middle.
Here's a look at it on the right.
Wow, that was so close.
That was
beating
crazy.
the rear bumper of that 24 car as he tried to block that run.
But kind of sandwiched in between 3 fast Chevrolets too, 88, 9, 48.
Oh, they're spinning.
Oh, Menard up and into Boyer, into the wall. Gets collected by McDowell.
Oh, no,
Keselowski crashes, and more cars are littered at the bottom of the racetrack.
Guys, I think that somebody may have gotten loose, got either into Jimmy Johnson or his car got loose and came down.
Here comes Jimmy through the middle of the melee. And
not sure Jimmy has much damage. How about the 18? 2 is crashed.
Certainly does.
We may have to list the cars that were not involved in this wreck. There might be less of them. Like Matt DiBenedetto.
I think Bubba's, I don't know, Bubba was in trouble, but I don't think anything. I don't think the 19 of Suarez did.
We're going to take a look at this from the Goodyear blimp and want you to watch William Byron in the 24 and Jimmy Johnson in the 48 as this develops.
Mike, this third turn has been a problem turn all day long. I've seen cars get loose getting into 3 all day long.
You can see us.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know. I think that's the 48 as a right front fender. The 24 got close to the left rear, just pushed that air in that left rear and brought it around.
Wow. Gray Gaulding shoots the middle and makes it. Wow. And they just keep piling up.
Wow. Unbelievable. You see Bubba there on.
You also keep an eye on.
Oh, you can see Jimmy's loose right there.
He just turns down in front of the 24 and it's on from there. The 21 gets tagged.
And the wind is blowing from outside the track directly across the right side of these cars.
Look at
the
Levin
infield.
get scoot right through there. Hamlin
gets his lap back.
Unbelievable. Keselowski up the hill and torn up. 34 of Reagan. Sorry about that, McDowell.
Yeah, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson communicating with spotter Earl Barbin, and Earl said there was no contact. They think that just the car behind Jimmy had taken the air off of Jimmy's car, and that's what caused him to dart toward the center of the track. And you see damage on the 24 of Byron, also a little bit of damage for Jimmy Johnson, but they have looked at the car, inspected it, and they believe it's okay. No worse for the wear for the 48.
And no, we didn't see any contact either.
Definitely not.
Jimmy just spins and comes down the racetrack.
Right there, it starts to get a little sideways.
Yeah, I got hit in the left rear. I don't know how I spun. What happened there?
But that's what it feels like. You've been hit. And the way that car, you would never expect the car to get sideways and lose control in the middle of the corner when it's loaded up in the banking.
I've just seen that time and time again, particularly in the third and fourth turn. The cars just get a little loose. Guys been able to catch them. That time it was just a slow.
We add Brendan Gaughan to the list of cars who did a nice job getting through there as William Byron's number 24 goes to the garage.
And Paul Menard won his first stage race. We're getting ready to go green. Paul, what did you see?
The 24 and 48 the 24 got moved up, 48 was coming down, and they stopped, and I got in at 24. Well, it kind of all came together right there. So really fast motorcraft, quick lane forward. You know, we got shuffled back, and it's so hard to make up ground. We got the bottom rolling again pretty decent, and just ran out of real estate, I guess.
William Byron released from the care center, as has been Austin Dillon.
And William Byron has been checked and released. Led 14 laps today at your first race here in a Cup car. What happened? The other guys weren't really sure what led to this.
Yeah, honestly, I think I got side drafted going into 3 and got me a little bit free, and then I think I just packed some air on his left rear. I haven't seen a replay, so I can't really tell, but hopefully one of our guys can get it done. Just kind of unfortunate that we couldn't get to the end of the race, but had a pretty good race till then, so we'll learn from it and come back here in the fall, hopefully have an even better run.